There's a kind of calm that people mistake for peace, the kind where someone's world is falling apart, and they're the only one not crying, where crisis happens and everyone turns to them because they always know what to do. They're steady, unshakable, the eye of every storm. But if you look closely, really look, you'll see something else. Not peace, control. Because for some people, staying calm isn't a personality trait, it's a survival strategy. And it started long before anyone noticed. Maybe you're the person everyone calls in a crisis, the one who doesn't panic when things go wrong, who stays level-headed when others are falling apart. People admire you for it. They say things like, "I wish I could be as calm as you. You never let anything get to you. You're so strong." And you smile, nod, accept the compliment. But inside there's something else. Maybe it's numbness. Maybe it's exhaustion from holding it all together. Maybe it's the quiet knowledge that if you let yourself feel everything you're actually feeling, you wouldn't be calm at all. You learned early that emotions were dangerous, that losing control meant losing safety, that the only way to survive was to become the steady one. So you did. You learned to regulate your breathing when your heart was racing. You learned to speak slowly when panic was crawling up your throat. You learned to be the anchor when everyone else was drowning. And now, years later, people see your calm as strength. But you know the truth. It's not that you don't feel fear. It's that you've learned to feel it silently. What you're experiencing has a psychological foundation. It's called emotional regulation, hyperdevelopment, or in trauma research, affect constriction. It's what happens when a child learns that their emotional expression is too much, unwelcome, dangerous, a burden. So they learn to compress, to manage, to control, not because they're naturally calm, but because emotional volatility around them meant unpredictability, and unpredictability meant threat. The concept was explored deeply by researchers like Alan Shore and John Bowlby in attachment theory. They found that children in chaotic or emotionally volatile environments often develop what's called compulsive self-reliance. They become their own emotional regulators, not by choice, but by necessity. And here's what matters. Your calm isn't a flaw, it's an adaptation. A brilliant, exhausting adaptation to an environment that couldn't hold your feelings. But adaptation isn't the same as authenticity. And what helped you survive as a child may now be costing you connection, spontaneity, and the ability to feel fully alive. This isn't about blame, it's about understanding. Understanding why your first instinct in chaos is to go still. Why you can comfort everyone else but struggle to let anyone comfort you. Why your calm sometimes feels more like a cage than a superpower. Let's go back to the moment this started. In a healthy childhood, a child's nervous system learns regulation through co-regulation with caregivers. When a toddler falls and cries, a parent picks them up, soothes them, and the child's nervous system learns distress is temporary. Help is available. I am safe. But in your childhood, something different happened. Maybe your parent was emotionally volatile, rage, depression, addiction, emotionally absent, shut down, detached, unavailable, chronically stressed, survival mode, financial crisis, illness, narcissistically fragile, your emotions threatened their stability. And you learned early, maybe at 5, 6, 7 years old, that your emotions didn't make things better. They made things worse. Crying meant your parents' anger escalated. You were told to stop being dramatic. You were sent away to calm down. You became the problem, so you stopped crying. You learned to swallow the tears before they came. You learned to make your face neutral, your voice steady, your body still. At an age when your brain was supposed to be learning emotional literacy, the ability to name, express, and process feelings, your brain was learning emotional suppression. Your amygdala, the part of your brain that detects threats, learned that emotional expression equals danger. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for emotional regulation, went into overdrive, not to help you feel your feelings, but to stop you from feeling them. You became hyper-regulated, not because you were naturally calm, but because your nervous system learned emotion, shock, threat, control, survival. As psychologist Alice Miller writes in The Drama of the Gifted Child, the child has an amazing ability to survive trauma by forgetting it, but the price they pay is the loss of their true self. Your calm self isn't your true self, it's your survival self. The part of you that learned to disappear your emotions so thoroughly, even you forgot they were there. And you wore this calm like armor. It kept you safe. It made you useful. It meant you didn't burden anyone. But it also meant you stopped being a child. You became the emotional adult in a room full of dysregulated grown-ups. And that role, you're still playing it. So, what does this look like now? Now that you're an adult who has it together, here are the patterns. You're everyone's crisis manager. When something goes wrong at work, in your family, in your friend group, you're the first person they call. Not because you want to be, but because you're the one who doesn't fall apart. You can hold space for everyone else's panic because you've spent a lifetime holding space for your own. But here's the cost. No one thinks to ask if you're okay, because you seem fine. You always seem fine. You know this if people tell you their deepest traumas, but never ask about yours. You dissociate under stress. When things get overwhelming, you don't cry or yell or break down. You go quiet, flat, emotionally unreachable. This is dissociation, your nervous system's emergency exit. When fight or flight aren't options, your body chooses freeze. You're physically present, but emotionally gone. And later, you might not even remember parts of the crisis. Not because you weren't there, but because your brain was protecting you from feeling too much. You know this if people say you were so calm during something traumatic, but you felt like you were watching yourself from outside your body. You can't cry, even when you want to. You'll be at a funeral, or watching something heartbreaking, or going through your own loss, and you'll think, I should be crying right now. But nothing comes. You feel blank. This isn't coldness. It's a nervous system that learned to shut down emotional expression so effectively it can't turn back on, even when it's safe. You know this if you've apologized for not reacting enough to someone else's pain, even though inside you're screaming. People think you're cold or detached. Because you don't show distress the way others do, people misread you. They think you don't care, you're emotionless, you're unaffected. But the truth is the opposite. You feel everything. You've just learned to metabolize it internally, silently, invisibly. And when people accuse you of not feeling, it's like being punished twice. Once for having to suppress your emotions, twice for being judged for how well you learned to do it. You know this if someone has said, you don't seem upset, when you were in fact falling apart inside. You struggle to ask for help, because you've been the helper your whole life. Asking for help feels weak, shameful, dangerous. You'd rather handle everything alone than risk being too much. And when people do offer help, you minimize. I'm fine. It's not that big of a deal. I've got it under control. Even when you don't, especially when you don't. You know this if you've collapsed in private after insisting to everyone that you were fine. You're attracted to chaos. Strangely, you're drawn to people or situations that are volatile. Not because you want chaos, but because it feels familiar. Your nervous system was shaped by instability. So calm, predictable relationships can feel boring, unsettling, wrong. You might choose partners who are emotionally unpredictable because managing their emotions is the one thing you've always known how to do. You know this if your most peaceful relationships felt uncomfortable, but your most turbulent ones felt like home. You don't know what you actually feel. Someone asks, how are you feeling? And you pause, not because you're hiding your feelings, but because you genuinely don't know. You've spent so long prioritizing control over expression that you've lost access to your internal emotional landscape. You can read everyone else's feelings instantly, but your own, they're muted, distant, unclear. You know this if you can describe what you think about a situation, but struggle to name what you feel about it. Let's talk about what this did to your brain, not metaphorically, literally. Your amygdala, the smoke alarm. Your amygdala is your brain's threat detection system. In people who grew up in emotionally chaotic environments, the amygdala becomes hyperactive. It's constantly scanning for danger. Not physical danger, but emotional danger. a shift in someone's tone, a change in facial expression, silence that lasts a beat too long. Your amygdala learned emotion, exhaustion, unpredictability. Unpredictability sound threat. So it sends constant signals. Stay calm, stay controlled, don't react. Your prefrontal cortex, the control tower. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thinking and emotional regulation, went into overdrive. But instead of helping you process emotions, it learned to suppress them, to override your body's natural responses, to keep you from crying, yelling, or showing vulnerability. This is why you can stay calm in a crisis. Not because you're not afraid, but because your prefrontal cortex has been trained to hijack your emotional responses before they surface. Your nervous system, stuck in dorsal vagal. Shutdown, Dr. Stephen Porges. Polyvagal theory explains this perfectly. There are 3 nervous system states. 1. Ventral vagal, safe and social. 2. Sympathetic, fight or flight. 3. Dorsal vagal, freeze, shutdown. When fight or flight weren't available to you as a child, because you couldn't fight your caregiver and you couldn't flee, your nervous system defaulted to dorsal vagal shutdown. This is the freeze response. Emotional numbing, dissociation, flat effect, and your nervous system learned to live here, not in panic, not in peace, in shutdown. The HPA axis, chronic stress on mute. Your HPA axis, the system that regulates your stress hormones, is stuck. Cortisol, your stress hormone, is either chronically elevated, constant low-level stress, or blunted. Your body has stopped responding to stress signals. This is why you can handle objectively stressful situations without visible distress. Your stress response has been flattened, not because you're not stressed, but because your body has learned to ignore its own alarm system. As Bessel van der Kolk writes in The Body Keeps the Score, the body keeps the score when the mind is too terrified to remember. Your calm isn't the absence of fear, it's the suppression of it. Your body is still keeping score. You've just learned not to look at the scoreboard, but here's what changes everything. Neuroplasticity. Your brain is not fixed. The neural pathways carved by survival can be gently redirected through healing. You can teach your nervous system that emotional expression is safe now, that you don't have to be calm to be loved, that losing control won't destroy you. It's slow, it's uncomfortable, but it's possible. If you're watching this, hoping to finally fix your emotional numbness overnight, I need to be honest with you. This isn't a quick fix. Healing effect constriction means slowly, carefully dismantling a survival system you've relied on for decades. There will be days when you feel things again, really feel them, and it's terrifying. Days when you cry for the first time in years and don't know how to stop. Days when you want to crawl back into the safety of numbness. This doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're thawing. You're not healing to become someone else. You're healing to become the person you would have been if you'd been allowed to feel without consequence. The one who could be scared and still okay. Angry and still loved. Sad and still held. And that work? It takes time. Maybe years of gentle unlearning. So, give yourself permission. Permission to go slow. Permission to feel nothing some days and everything other days. Permission to be a work in progress. Here are 5 practices that can help you reconnect with your emotional self. Somatic awareness. Befriending your body. What? Learning to notice physical sensations without judgment. Why? Your emotions live in your body. You've learned to ignore your body's signals. So reconnecting with sensation is the first step to feeling again. How? Practice. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Sit quietly and close your eyes. Scan your body from head to toe. Notice, where do you feel tension? Numbness, warmth, tightness? Don't try to change it, just notice. Name it aloud. I notice tightness in my chest. I notice numbness in my hands. Expect. This might feel like nothing at first, or it might feel overwhelming. Both are information. You're learning your body's language again. Emotional naming practice. Building feeling vocabulary. What? Practicing identifying and naming emotions throughout the day. Why? You can't process what you can't name. Building emotional vocabulary helps your brain recognize the feeling states. How? Practice. Set 3 alarms during the day. When the alarm goes off, stop and ask, what am I feeling right now? Use a feelings wheel, Google feelings wheel, to get specific. Not just fine or okay. Try uneasy, restless, tender, flat. Write it down or say it aloud. Expect. You'll want to say, I don't know a lot. That's okay. Guess. Even a wrong guess is practice. Safe crying. Practice giving yourself permission to release. What? Creating a safe container to practice emotional release. Why? You've learned that crying is dangerous. You need to teach your nervous system that it's safe now. How? Practice. Choose a time when you're alone and safe. Put on a song or movie that you know is sad. Give yourself permission to cry if it comes. If it doesn't come, don't force it. Notice the urge to stop yourself and gently resist that urge. Say aloud, it's safe to cry. I'm allowed to feel this. Expect. Tears might not come immediately, or they might come all at once. Both are okay. You're retraining a deeply ingrained pattern. Co-regulation. Practice. Letting others help you. Feel what? Practicing being emotionally vulnerable with a safe person. Why? You learn to regulate alone. Healing means learning to regulate with others. How? Practice. Choose one safe person, therapist, partner, friend. Share something small but real. I'm actually feeling overwhelmed today. Resist the urge to minimize or deflect. Let them respond. Don't fix their concern. Notice how your body feels when someone else holds space for you. Expect. This will feel excruciating at first, like you're burdening them, like you should take it back. Don't. Sit in the discomfort. That's your nervous system updating. Nervous system activation. Moving out of shutdown. What? Physical practices that wake up your frozen nervous system. Why? Dorsal vagal shutdown keeps you numb. You need to gently activate your system to feel again. How? Practice. Cold exposure. Splash cold water on your face or hold ice cubes. Shaking. Literally shake your body for 2 minutes. Releases stored tension. Vocalizing. Hum, sing, or make sounds. Activates vagus nerve. Intense movement. Dance, run, or do jumping jacks until you're breathless. Bilateral stimulation. Tap, alternating knees or shoulders. EMDR technique. Expect, you might feel silly. Do it anyway. These aren't metaphors. They're physiological interventions that signal safety to your nervous system. So, what does healing actually look like? It doesn't look like perfect emotional expression. It doesn't look like suddenly becoming a different person. It looks like this. It looks like crying during a movie and not immediately feeling ashamed. It looks like telling someone I'm not okay and not spending 3 days catastrophizing about it. It looks like feeling anger, actual anger, and recognizing it as information, not danger. It looks like having a panic attack and knowing this will pass. I'm not broken. It looks like letting someone see you fall apart and trusting they won't leave. It looks like choosing a partner who is stable, consistent, and emotionally available, and not immediately sabotaging it because it feels unfamiliar. It looks like resting without guilt. Feeling without apologizing, needing without shame. You're not healing to become fragile. You're healing to become whole, to reclaim the full spectrum of your humanity, not just the calm, controlled, acceptable parts, but the messy, uncertain, wildly alive parts too. Is 0.3 bars. And maybe, just maybe, you're the one who breaks the cycle. The one who says, I don't have to be calm to be worthy. I don't have to have it together to be loved. I can be human, finally. So, if you're someone who is always calm, who never loses their composure, even when you're breaking, who holds space for everyone else but never asks anyone to hold space for you, know this. Your calm was never the problem. It was the solution to a problem you shouldn't have had to solve. You learned to be steady because no one else was. You learned to suppress because expression wasn't safe. You learned to hold everything inside because letting it out meant losing the little stability you had. And you survived. You made it here. That calm kept you alive. But survival and living are not the same thing. And the fact that you're here, watching this, questioning this, doing this work, That's not weakness. That's the bravest thing you could possibly do. You're choosing to feel what you've spent a lifetime avoiding. You're choosing truth over safety. You're choosing yourself. Carl Jung once wrote, "The foundation of all mental illness is the unwillingness to experience legitimate suffering." You've been willing to experience everyone else's suffering. You've held it, managed it, and soothed it. Now it's time to hold your own, not to wallow in it, but to finally let it move through you. To let yourself be human. You're not cold. You're not unfeeling. You're not broken. You're someone who learned to survive by going still. And now you're learning to live. Not just survive, live.